Alrighty, so if you are one of the clubs that are registered through LEAD or you're just an active member of Maryville in the club society, you're going to want to come to GetInvolvedMU and you're going to want to log in. And then from there, you're going to want to go to the cube that has three little squares on it on each row. And then you go to Manage. And as you can see, there are new terms and conditions to this new policy. So you're going to want to get started by looking at that. And then from there, you're going to go to whichever organization that you hold an exec position in. And for me, I'm the president of the Maryville University Gospel Choir. So I'll come to here. And then there should be a tab on the left. It has three little lines on it. It looks like a square. You're going to want to click on that. And then from there, you go to your organization tools, and you click down all the way to events. And then as you can see, if you already have events in, it'll tell you all the events that you have. Like for me, I have 3 already approved: my Around the Campfire, my karaoke night, and my Christmas party. All 3 of these spaces have been approved for my event and date. And so to create an event, you're going to want to come to the Create an Event tab. Now I'll just go with a sample. I'll just say another karaoke night. And it'll ask you for the theme. And it goes from arts to music all the way down to spirituality. For this, it'll be spirituality, or it can be a social. I'm going to put social. And then it asks for like a brief description, and you'll go from there. So for this, I'll just put a fun time for everyone to come out, share the gospel. And then right here, it will ask if you have any other organizations that are helping you host this event. And if you don't, you can just move on. And it'll ask you for a start date, a time, and when it'll all be over. So I'll just put tomorrow. And it starts at 6:30. And it gives you the end date, and then we'll just say it ends at like 9. And then you have to provide a location. So let's just put Booter Commons. It'll ask you for an address. That's when you would just put in 650 University. University Drive. And you should be good from there. Just save it in. You should always have a backup location ready. So it'll ask you down here for an alternate location just in case you don't get approved for the first one. But we're going to come back up here, and then it'll ask you for categories. This is a campus university-wide event. And you'll want perks like free food, free stuff, or just credit. I'm just going to put free food and free stuff because that just seems like the easiest crowd pleaser. And then right here, it'll show you more terms and conditions that you need to read if this is your first time doing this, just so you adhere to everything from room capacity to university departments, policies, and just catering all the way down to vehicle request. So now it'll ask you for an alternate location just in case. If you don't have an alternate location, just put not NA, not applicable. And if you don't have it'll ask you for an outdoor space as well. This is only if your event goes outside of the space. If you have an outside event, I'm sorry. And so you'll put NA as well. And it'll ask you if there is a cost associated with your event, and if there is, you're going to want to put that down because this will be just so the people know how much money you'll be spending at this event and if you have MSG funding. So for this event, I'll just put $300. It'll ask, my event's open to the public. Yes. It'll ask what would you like people to bring to this event. If you want them to bring nothing, just put NA, an event pass, so you can check them in and take attendance, or any of these. And if you choose other, you would just click that. You would click down here and just type that in. For this, I'm just gonna put an event pass, and we're gonna go to the next step. Right here, it'll ask you if anyone can RSVP. If so, you'll put anyone can, and it'll ask you a bunch of RSVP questions. But for this one, I'm just gonna put no one. It is a big open event. And then right here, it'll ask for an event cover photo. This basically is the digital signage that you should already have from our graphic designers in the CSE. If you don't have one, you can just skip it for now, and then you can come back and put it there later. And so for here, it'll ask for an event contact name. So you'll want somebody who is on your exec board that can handle these specifics. So I'll just put myself, and it'll ask for the title. Since I am the president, I will type down president, and it'll ask for your email address. And then from there, you would click next. And then it'll ask you who are you submitting this request for, and you'll have one of three options: a registered student organization, the student life department, or another university department. Since I'm a registered student organization, I would choose this step right off the bat. It'll also ask you if this is a space request for an on-campus or off-campus venue. Since I chose Buder Commons, it is on campus, so I would choose on campus, and then I will click next. And after that, it'll ask you all the things that fall to your event, like just so they know what to expect. It can go all the way down from a banquet, dinner, or reception, all the way down to a Title IX education event. And so for this, I'm just gonna go with something as small as a little party. And then if you choose other, it'll ask you to describe that. And then down here, it'll ask you what is your desired setup time. Since I said my event will start at 7:30, I'm gonna put 6 o'clock for my start time. And then it'll ask you for an event teardown. Since I put 9:45 as the teardown, I will put 10:45 for the teardown ending. And then it'll ask you for an estimated number of people who you think will show up to this event. I'm going to put maybe 40 to 50, just as an estimated number. And then it'll ask you for a brief description on how this event will happen. I'll just put introductions, karaoke list, and then prizes, and closing comments. It can just be as brief as that. All they need to know is everything you plan on doing, and it can be as simple as a list, or you can go into exact detail of everything. And then it'll ask you if the event or activities associated could be perceived as controversial. And since it's just a karaoke night, I'm just gonna put no. But if you're doing any other events such as speeches, panels, or around the tables, this is something that you would want to click yes on, just so the school is prepared to have that out there. And then it'll ask you for some more additional information. It'll ask you if you'll need help setting up for this event. So that isn't that. Since I am doing a karaoke night, I'm going to need help with technology such as microphones and all that other jazz. So I'll put yes, and it'll ask if we'll be serving food. So I'll just put yes. It'll ask if you need any video or audio. Yes, and if not, you can click no. It'll ask if it's a fundraising event. I'm going to click no. I'll not be having a guest speaker or performer. I will be using MSG funding. Will you be serving alcohol? No. I will not need to reserve parking spaces. No security is needed, but information is always there if you need it. There will be no on-campus sales or transactions. If you will have someone under the age of 18 attending your event, you should click yes, just so they know. So I'll just click yes for this. I will not be showing a movie. I won't be having a contract with anyone. This won't be a protest. I won't be using multiple on-campus spaces. I won't need a vehicle either. And then for these events, just for the event setup, all you need to upload is just a list of everything that you need. I'll just put mics, 4 tables, 4, and that's about it. Just make sure that you have that down for whenever you put it in there. And then it'll ask you for food and beverage information. If you were getting your event catered by Fresh Ideas, you would click that. If you have a catered off-campus vendor, you would click that, and you would also need a contract with that as well. With the donated food, with the donated and catered food, you will need a food waiver stating that you know everything that is needed and that you have to follow the school's guidelines and regulations as well. So I'll just put catered by Fresh Ideas. I'll be giving away food for free. And like I said, that food waiver, yes, you will. I'll put yes because I am. I'll actually put no because I'm not doing an off-campus vendor. Sorry. And then it'll indicate that it'll ask you if you requested MSG funding again, and then it'll just let you know that you have to fill out the MSG budget request form via your Finances tab, which you can do right after submitting your event request within the given time period of the budget period. And then it's just a final disclaimer, just going over everything that you've put in, and it'll just let you know that you have responsibilities and you have to know how to use the space and there's no violations, and you have to agree to all the policies and you know the rules. And then you'll come down here and it'll let them know that you understand that, and then you'll just click next, and then it'll basically just go through everything again, and then when you're done, you just press submit, and then you're all done.
All right, and just so you can see the faces of the GetInvolvedMU geniuses, we're going to open up the camera real quick.